Hi guys, thanks for joining me again. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Anne and on my channel I review foreign international content. Today I'm back to review this one. I had been waiting for this one, the Whirlwind, because it looked good. And I actually thought it was one of those that's gonna be a series, so we get 2 episodes this weekend and then the next weekend, that kind of thing. And no, they dropped all the 12 episodes on, I believe, Friday. So I was like, whoa, okay, I guess it's all here and we can watch it. And I have mixed emotions about it. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but I did have mixed emotions. First of all, this is a political show. So if you love political shows, this is gonna rock your world because this was very interesting. And especially for the people who are in the US, we're in the middle of a political election here. So this is like ringing very true right now about politics and power and corruption and people who want justice and ones who don't want justice and are so power hungry. All those things are in play and whoa. But we can all just summarize that the Whirlwind is a show between the power struggle between Park Dog-ho and Soo-jin, who he's the prime minister when we first start off, and then she's the deputy prime minister, and they're all under the president. They all started young, where they all wanted to be politicians and serve their country. Now what has happened is Park Dog-ho has gotten sad in the fact that when they elected President Il Jun-jung, he was here to lead a country that is going to be full of justice and not a corrupt country. And let's just say, just like all politicians, they all start nice. I think most do. Let's just say when they get power, they start to compromise and obviously fall in the way of corruption. And let's just say he stayed strong where he wanted justice. But Soon-ji wanted power. It was more important for her to preserve power and the legacy of the president that they elected. But he was serving the president, and then the president gets power hungry and falls into corruption, and he's conflicted. And he feels like, I'm the only one here who's gonna save us from all this. And I have to say, and obviously I don't know if you've watched to the end, I'm not gonna say a lot just in case you haven't watched to the end. It's 12 episodes. I think they like 48 or an hour each long, so it could be you have not finished. I have to say, you appreciate him in the beginning of the episodes, and you're like, yes, let's fight for justice and all that is good and right and all that kind of stuff. But as we come to the end, I'm not sure if it's the writers, the way they start to depict him just came off like, what is he supposed to be, Jesus? To the point where, okay, this show has some really good quotes. Like, there was good quotes like, can you fight a lie with the truth? And at one point he's like, no, you don't fight a lie with the truth. You fight a lie with a bigger lie. And I'm like, in the world of politics, that's very true, right? Because it's a gotcha. And that's what he does with Soon-jin. They're going back and forth, which I believe that was the fun of the show was, when she's like, I got you, and then he's like, I got you, and then she's like, no, I got you, and I got you. So it's that cat and mouse thing going back and forth. That is the fun of the show. That being said, like I was saying, at the end there, the writing kind of got a little weird. And I was like, even as a Christian, I'm like, is this seeming a little bit blasphemy? First of all, there was a lot of quotation about the Bible. Jesus had his own Judas at the table. So listen, if you need to deny me like Peter 3 times, please go ahead and do it. I understand. I'm only here for only a short time. I'm like, oh my God, what are you, Jesus? And at the end, the sacrifice, I'm like, oh my gosh, these writers really are depicting him like the savior of South Korea, like Jesus. And I was like, we're human, right? We're human. And even at the end, I also have questions about, and you have to watch, so the sacrifice, is it worth it because the people you're leaving behind, aren't they the same corrupt people who may end up being in power again? I don't know. I was like, was that sacrifice? What the sacrifice? And you guys have to watch what I'm talking about, the sacrifice, because that was kind of like, wow, that was drastic. That was definitely surprising that that's what you decided to do. But just going back to the beginning and the writing, it is well written, like I said, until the end there, where I felt like the writers, I'm like, oh, now you're really getting carried away with the whole savior mentality and almost like he's the Jesus of South Korea. I felt like they pushed that too far. That being said, I felt like they really depicted what it's like, especially like I said, when you're in election season and you have your leaders, and the depiction of two leaders of where one is power hungry and the other one is striving for justice at all cost. And there are some things where I'm like, that would really be nice in real life, but we all know that's not really gonna happen. For example, the first episode with the whole president and how he's been poisoned, and the fact that he's in the hospital, and Soon Jin, and you have to keep watching when she decides to get involved and the machines are going off everywhere. He's supposed to be in a military hospital and you have supposed to be military people and nobody walks in the room when all the machines are going off. I'm like, if you're not supposed to be protected in a military hospital, where can you have more protection than a military hospital when you're the president? I was like, that was not believable, because somebody would be like, the machines are going off, it's the president's room, we all rush in. I mean, you got Secret Service standing outside the doors. Aren't you hearing the machines going off? I was like, that was unbelievable to me. Jean and her husband, and how her husband was weak and being used, all kinds of corruptions, all these different leaders who, at the end of the day, was kind of like, what are you gonna do for me? They're using families to get at each other. I mean, it was just crazy. I didn't even know he had a family until the end. I'm like, oh, he is married and he does have children. Like, you just never see him at home. He's always at the Blue House. They call it the Blue House in Korea instead of the White House. And always with the head of the Blue House. She's the one who's always helping him. I thought she was a really good support in the Blue House. And then his would-be assistant, who, by the way, what really motivated him to go after for justice was when her brother, his assistant, was a really good friend of his, and he gets accused of being involved in corruption, and it really wasn't him. And let's just say, a little spoiler alert, he commits suicide, and then that obviously motivated him to be like, I'm gonna bring them all down. I'm gonna bring all these leaders, including the president, by the way, I'm gonna bring them all down because it's my responsibility to restore justice. And that's what becomes the motivating factor. I believe his name was Guitar something, their good friend. And then you got his other good friend who's a prosecutor, who's also kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place, because you're my friend, but as I'm investigating, I'm also seeing that you've done some things that are really questionable. And I get it, you're trying to go at all kinds of lengths to bring all these corrupt people, corrupt politicians you work with, down. And he was so conflicted, it was just crazy. Because at one point, he actually was like going to the Blue House to arrest him. And then him being the president is like, no, stop him. I'm like, well, are you really just, if you're supposed to be following justice? So there was some questions like that. But all in all, I could say this, the acting was good. There was some parts where I felt like there was a little bit of some overacting, I'm gonna come and get you. And Soon Jin is like, oh my God, I thought I got him. And then, oh no, he got me now. And she's just like, those kind of thing. And then you have the assistants always running in. Oh my God, something else is going on. I was like, if I see one more assistant running in to the office, like, oh my gosh, this is happening. We thought we got them, but oh no, they got us, It was just a little bit redundant there. Did we need 12 episodes for this? I don't know. I think this would have been a great movie, like a really good movie to compress all that. I don't think we needed the 12 episodes. That being said, very good. We're very well done. It's very binge worthy. It will definitely have you questioning things. And like I said, if you're in a political season, election season, this will really make you think. There was one quote that the previous president made that I thought, oh my gosh. He goes, why do people allow people with power to get away with bad behavior? And I was like, what? He goes, I had a dream yesterday. I had a dream yesterday that I, the president, went in the middle of the street and I decided to pull my pants down and take a dump, poop outside. And you can see people looking at me, but because I was looking at them with a lot of confidence, as I proceed to poop, people were almost like ashamed to look at me, that they would look down. In the end, it's almost like they start to doubt, like, did we actually see the president in the middle of the street, pants down and really pooping? But because I have power and I'm looking at them like this, they start to question themselves, like, did we not see that? And I was like, how true is that? How many times have you seen politicians really acting a fool and you are in your head, you're like, what in the world is that? And then before you know it, their supporters are like, no, it wasn't that serious. No, I don't think that's what you saw. And I'm like, hey, that is very true. That is very true. Politics are the most crazy, complicated things, and how people are willing to just follow your group just because that's who you belong to. And sometimes we just don't use common sense. And that is very evident in this. The amount of things people are willing to do for just the power was just crazy. But all in all, I can say it was a good show. It's worth a watch. And you can tell me if you felt the same way. Like at the end, I was like, I think we're pushing this savior thing a little too far. And in real life, it feels like sacrificing yourself may not be the solution the way he did. I felt like you stay there and you change the laws, so that as you're changing these laws, you're holding accountable to all these people who have been breaking the law. Eventually, you end up eliminating all the corrupt people, and hopefully you're starting to change a culture, and everybody else coming in will start to have a different kind of culture of like, we're here to serve people. We're here not to be corrupt. And we're here to hopefully serving the people is our number one, and not power and power tripping and all that goes with it. Now, good luck with all that, because in a way, you could see why they could start to power trip. And, because you're in high positions and you control all this and you have a lot of power. I mean, the military and everybody is there to do whatever you want. So I can see how politicians, may start off, clean and then get drunk with power and forget about the people. But all in all, I'll say it was good. I just thought the ending, they pushed a little bit that whole savior mentality, because in reality, in real life, that would not happen. But a very well done show. There was a lot of quotes. I mean, we had Caesar, Augusta, Jesus. I mean, this writer was quoting everybody under the sun, which was very interesting. Like I said, it's 12 episodes. They do have dabbing. I did check the dabbing. It's actually pretty good. But like I always say, watch it in Korean, because the acting would definitely come through. But let me know, have you watched? What did you think of The Whirlwind? Did you feel like it was a good depiction of the political world? I thought it was, until at the end there, where it felt like, I think the writer now is depicting him like he's the savior of Korea. And we all know it just doesn't take one person. To me, I don't think it would take one person to save a country. I think it takes many people coming together with the same idea and culture, and we really change ourselves. But for what he did, I mean, people would say kudos for always standing for justice. How in the way he went to do it, I don't know. Sun Jin, on the other hand, I'm like, girl, how could you be so power hungry? Like, you totally lost yourself, and you're so like, I don't know, infatuated with your, would-be mentor. And the fact that he becomes corrupt, then you just go that way and forget yourself. So I thought that was interesting. But I love the two juxtaposition of, they grew up the same, they all loved the same president, but one became power hungry and the other one was like, we're still gonna stand for justice, which we all appreciated. Now, in the ways that he went about it, questionable. But all in all, a good watch. Let me know if you watched and if you liked it in the comment section. Miss Night and Day is really cute and it's so much fun. I'm thinking I may jump in and start reviewing that because that's become it's a really fun show. I'm really enjoying that. For my African peeps, I saw Savage Beauty season 2 is out. There's a lot of other international shows that have come out that I'm like, oh, that one looks really good. So I may review more of other countries just because right now I feel like South Korea doesn't have much going on. Like, you know, when we get a really nice show that is electric and we're here every week, like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what happens next week. But once again, as usual, I'm always glad that you're here to support. If you do like my video, give me a like, subscribe. It does help to support my channel. And I'll see you on my next one. Deuces.